do you feel this game pushes the RTS genre forward?
So I think I think what it does is it provides just a tremendous amount of variety. There are so many factions that you can play as. There are 700 different battlefield unit types in the game. Compare that to around 50 in Shogun 2. That's a lot of choice. That's a lot of choice about ways to fight. You've got the rock paper scissors kind of mechanic as you do in most RTSs, but there are so many more grey areas. We've got these kind of multi-role troops. Your basic Roman legionary, carries a pilum, so he's a hand-to-hand guy. But just as that unit charges in, they'll throw a wave of pilum spears at the enemy. So it's like an instant hit, some damage to the front line, and a little bit of a morale knock, just as they're going in. So, there's just so much more choice.
When it comes to a battlefield, can you give us a sense of scale of how many units are fighting at one time?
Yeah, so I think you can have, so we've got up to 40 versus 40 units on the same battlefield. So that's as big as you want it to be. And after you could keep extrapolating that. You could make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We could do that, but at the end of the day, the player's attention is a resource in a game as well, and it needs to be spent in the right ways to get the right results in the battle. If you give a player way too much, it's kind of like the battle would go on for a long time, and it would be very difficult to manage. So we have up to 40 units in a battle on each side.
What excites you about the PC gaming space today?
For me, it's seeing the kind of fertility of the indie scene right now is just remarkable. We're seeing a lot of an explosion of new studios popping up, creating really exciting little games, concept games, and some of those guys going on to do some much more advanced stuff as well. After they've maybe shipped the first game. So, I think this is just creating a great hotbed of ideas, which is just going to be just a magnificent thing for the industry, and a great thing for gamers as well, obviously, because of the choice. So much choice and so much variety, which is nice.
How have you seen from the first Rome game and potentially with this Rome game, the fact that it's so storied in history potentially influence gamers to want to read up and explore more about the real history?
Yeah, I mean, our aim isn't necessarily to educate, but that is a really nice, fact of Total War Games, is that people get into history as a result of it, and we get letters at the studio from people who've gone on to, really buff up on that history because they found the game fascinating. So, we do occasionally get kind of contact from teachers or tutors, colleges and schools who want to use parts of our gamers learning tools in their classes, which we're obviously more than happy to let them do. So yeah, it's a really nice thing. I mean, at the end of the day, we're making a game, and it's never going to be completely historically accurate because it's about player agency. It's about you making your choice about how you expand your empire, about how you fight a certain battle. So it's never going to be completely true to history. But we obviously, the phrase we use is historical authenticity rather than historical accuracy, because we don't slavishly follow history. That would be a very different game. That would be a very linear game, and that's not what we make. We make a big kind of expansive sandbox of statecraft and expansion and war. So, yeah.